what I found. Sundays at Paris Theater. Every Sunday starting in June. Sex industry party. Sex PDX by sex workers. I had to reread this because the first time I read it, I read BUY sex workers. All-inclusive night featuring all genders, races, sizes, $13, $10 for sex industry VIP, $100 booths. What the fuck? Sex industry party? Sounds like a fucking rape party, you morons. Okay, I just had to tell you about that because it's so fucking dumb. But, more importantly, I have a viewer request. Let me just use her words, because she and I were talking, met this really cool gal from Russia, Privyet. And she wanted me to talk about this. Now, if I could get to it, and this was just a really good question, and I was like, that's a great way to make a video. So she said, sorry, I have to scroll to it. Okay, she said, hi, I would like to know how to not pay attention to women or people who are bullying me for not being a conformist. How to cope with that, because it's so hard to tell the truth, but nobody wants to know it because they are brainwashed. And I asked her to give me an example, like more specifically what she was talking about. She said, for example, I don't want to wear makeup, and my fellow female students and peers always ask me why. My mom asked me also. Great question, okay? So, yeah, that's a problem, and that's a thing, and it's very fucking annoying that we have to deal with that shit. I completely agree. My mom, y'all, can you see these? I actually have a lot of neck hairs. Yeah, you saw that. Y'all saw that. Oh my god, so gross. She has neck hairs. Ew. Okay, I have a ton of neck hairs. One time my mom was like, what are those? And I was like, obviously they're my neck hairs. Like, she was like, well, why don't you remove them? And I said, well, because I'm a grown woman and I prefer to act that way. Which is true. So it's a matter of having like really good comebacks. Another one, she said, people were giving her shit, asking her why she wasn't wearing makeup. I think a great thing to say to that would be, well, I kind of outgrew dress up when I was 5. Or, again, you could just say, I prefer to act like a grown woman. Or you can say, it's sexist. Or you can say, I just don't want to. You can say, obviously, I don't want to. Moron. Or I think another great way to deal with this shit that hearing people, because y'all know that I sign, hearing people don't always think about this, but it's definitely an option, is like, just give them a fucking facial expression. When I think of a good facial expression to give any moron asking you why you don't fucking wear slave paint, be like, what? Why would I do that? That's another great thing. You can say, I prefer not to waste my time. I like spending my time doing things that are actually good for me. There's all kinds of chemicals in makeup, in slave paint that are bad for you. One time, this guy asked me, like, it was hot out, and I was wearing shorts, and I'm hairy AF, and he was like, so I noticed you don't shave. And I was like, you have vision, good for you. But I didn't say that. I was just like, uh-huh. And he was like, I just kind of want to know, like, why? And I said, do you shave? Do you shave your legs? And he was like, oh, no. And I was like, my point. I think it's really important to point out that all these habits that women have like self-harm by shaving, and self-harm by wearing slave paint, and sexism by wearing slave paint, and obsessive compulsive disorder by wearing slave paint. It's important to point those things out. You know, we have to say, you have to tell it how it is, okay? You have to say these things. You have to, outrightly, like, just fucking say them. And maybe you need to practice in the mirror. Go right ahead and practice in the mirror. Go right ahead and practice on camera being like, slave paint is sexist. Slave paint is harmful. You know what? You know what would be another great thing to say is, so if someone says, oh, well, how come you don't, well, I wish you'd put on some makeup. You could say, I call makeup slave paint because it's for slaves. It is. She's probably not speaking English, so, a Russian person in Russia probably speaking Russian. So calling someone a hop or bringing up Handmaidens of Patriarchy wouldn't really make a lot of sense, but if you're speaking English, I highly recommend. You could say, someone would be like, well, why aren't you wearing makeup? Oh, why don't you shave? You'd be like, yeah, I'm not a hop. I don't want to be a hop. Because I'm not a hop. And then it's always a great opportunity to say, like, they'd be like, oh, what's a hop? And you'd be like, handmaiden of patriarchy, which you are for wearing those things. I go to, like, fitness classes now and then, yoga or whatever, and I kind of really want to have, because all the women there are hairless, they practice self-harm by shaving or self-harm by hair removal, whatever the fuck that is. So I kind of want to get a shirt made that says, like, shaving causes cancer, and then just show up to class wearing that and wear it throughout the class, and then, these women can fucking read it and ponder. And then if they were to actually ask me, like, oh, what's the meaning of your shirt? I'd be like, well, shaving your armpits actually really does cause cancer because your lymph nodes right here in your armpit are they're the same fucking lymph nodes that are connected to your breasts. And if you cut yourself here, which you do every time you shave your hair there, and then you put any foreign substance, but especially an antiperspirant deodorant, into those wounds are getting siphoned right into your breasts, and they're fucking putting you on the goddamn road for breast cancer, dumb shit. I'm trying to think of other good things to say. Y'all, if y'all can think of anything, be my guest and please put it in the comments. Trying to think of anything else you could say. I already said it's sexist because it is. I think that I just don't want to is a great thing to say, because obviously you don't want to if you're not fucking wearing it. It's like, are you so poor that you can't afford slave paint? You could even fucking say that, legit. You could be like, well, I don't really have a lot of money, and I prefer not to waste it on something as useless as makeup. Went there. It's true. You'd be like, well, I'm trying to save money, and I don't like buying things that have absolutely no point. Hello. But yeah, going back to what I was saying, I don't want to is a totally legitimate answer. And you can also say, like, I want to be myself. Because you're being yourself if you don't wear slave paint. You're being yourself if you show the world your natural face. And honestly, I was talking to a friend of mine, and I said this, I already knew it. But people have pointed out to me, they're like, oh, it seems like you really like men musicians, more than you like female ones. And honestly, that's actually true. I really like pop music. I love Biebs. I love Zayn. I love Freddie Mercury. I love Queen. I just like the bands and songs and albums that I am just absolutely fucking in love with are all by men. And I was talking to a friend about it, and I said, the reason for that is that none of these women musicians, none of these female musicians are actually able to be themselves. They have to wear slave paint. They have to wear outrageous outfits. Their fucking show has to be a fucking circus. But a guy can just go on stage wearing a t-shirt and jeans. Fucking Adam Levine. I don't really like Maroon 5 that much. They're all right. But, like, he can just go on stage wearing like pants and no shirt and everything's cool and everyone's all impressed and shit. But a woman like Gaga or Katy Perry or whoever the fuck, I'm not saying I don't like them. I do like them, but I'm not like, I don't love their music. And that's because they're not even being themselves. They're covering up themselves by wearing the bullshit slave paint that they wear, by wearing the bullshit clothes that they wear, by making the fucking pornographic videos that they make, like Katy Perry's fucking California Girls. Yeah, that shit is pornographic. Men don't make those videos. For men, it's always about their actual music. It's not about how, I mean, yeah, it is kind of about how they look, but like if you're not so focused on how you look and you're able to show your naked face on stage, which all men who are musicians do, you're going to get more of you in your music. Period. The end. So that's another great thing to say is like, I just want to be myself. If someone says, why aren't you wearing makeup? Say, I want to be myself. And like, I know it's super hard and it's super embarrassing and it can be super humiliating when, someone says something real, like that guy who was like, I just want to know why you don't shave. Like, he said that in front of other people and that was totally fucking out of line for him to ask. I wasn't humiliated though, because that's just like, he's the one who should be humiliated, obviously. But I know that shit can be humiliating. But like, just know that you're right. Know that you're right. Like, think about scenarios in your mind and practice saying that shit like loud and proud in the mirror so you can say it loud and proud in real life. Okay? Okay. I love y'all. I can't wait. Y'all give me more video requests because I fucking love your requests. You're all so smart. Okay? Okay, we'll talk soon. Bye.